Good evening, guys. Actually, good night, good very night. It's 1 a.m. actually. And as if I haven't already had an insanely long day, ended up staying up late just to talk with family then for another like 2 hours afterwards. Because Matthew actually went over to his girlfriend's house at like 6, I think. He came home by like 10, 11 or something like that, and now it's 1 o'clock and I'm finally just now getting ready for bed, because me and my dad actually, almost everybody else was like completely disconnected on their phone, and me and my dad were having like the longest conversation ever. But yeah, we had a fun quarantine safe Thanksgiving. I told you guys too how after my mom's surgery she can't like leave, she can't drive in the car or anything like that for 2 weeks after, so that won't be until this coming Tuesday or maybe Wednesday or something like that. She had the surgery what will be 2 weeks ago on Tuesday. So again, she might be able to finally leave by that point, but regardless, I think she can then drive in a car, but I don't think she can even drive herself anywhere. But because of that, like I was saying, you know, Thanksgiving, you know, we were kind of all stuck here anyway, and on top of that too, you know, COVID and stuff. So we ended up just, we knew pretty much that we were going to have a at-home Thanksgiving this year, and probably an at-home Christmas as well. But our Thanksgiving this year, I showed you guys obviously the last 2 days sort of the prep that went into Thanksgiving, and I'll be honest, again, other than just sort of like sharing with you guys in the moment when it happened, there wasn't anything else that we did or, you know, had going on or anything like that that would have been super worth like vlogging throughout the day, I guess. I did take a bunch of pictures of all of the food that we had. We had turkey, we had, I showed you guys too, I did make ahead mashed potatoes, make ahead macaroni and cheese. I made ahead the sweet potatoes, the Matthew pre-made the desserts, which like he did like a jello dessert, which my mom really called like a side dish pretty much, and then ended up also making the cheesecake for dessert too. But I mean, I guess you could have had either for dessert or whatever, but everybody except for I didn't have the jello dessert, because I can't have the gelatin in there. So everything else, like I said, we kind of, everybody pretty much ate just about everything. My mom, she was able to contribute, unlike, you know, she could make all of the Thanksgiving dinner, but she did end up the other day, she made, she's been feeling really well, guys, since again she was able to have like a laparoscopic abdominal surgery and everything like that. She ended up actually making just tomatoes no, apples, cinnamon apples. She actually just did them in the crock pot a couple days ago, and she ended up just like we rewarmed them up today. And then I'm trying to think of what else we did. We did the whole turkey, which turned out really good in the roaster and everything like that. It was apparently very juicy. It was very you know, all of the good things that a turkey's supposed to be. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. For side dishes, we did the rolls. We did cinnamon rolls for breakfast. We did regular rolls. We had cranberry like sauce. We also had the cranberry relish. We had, I feel like there was another thing too that we forgot last minute and then put out, and we were like, oh, don't forget, we also need this thing. So yeah, and then we also did all of our appetizers too, which we had chips and dip and cheese and crackers, and the bruschetta was also a big hit. I loved it actually. Such an easy recipe too, guys. I cut up 3 big tomatoes. I threw some olive oil, which I just sort of eyeballed, salt, just a little bit of garlic, and I used actually some of that like basil in a tube or whatever it is. I think I was telling you guys too, because I couldn't find fresh basil when we went to just Jewel the other, like I think we went on Sunday or something like that, the last minute, or maybe Saturday. You know, I think that was to get my birthday cake, and so we ran over there, and again we ended up picking up a couple things because I wanted to get the pre-made bruschetta from Aldi, but I honestly think ours turned out pretty good. The chunks of the tomato were just a little bit big, like I could have diced them up maybe a little smaller because the little bread pieces were so small too, but that was kind of one of those things that's like not that big of a deal. So yeah, there was that. I'm trying to think too, appetizer sort of wise, cheese and crackers, chips, and the bruschetta and olives. We did olives too. Sort of it. Oh, and the cucumber sandwiches as well. So yeah guys, that was all the food. Like I said, the dessert too. I think that was pretty much everything. And then my mom did the place setting as well. She ended up actually sort of just pulled some things from around the house and ended up doing a really nice centerpiece too on the kitchen table. And we ended up actually having, we left an extra seat sort of too, just for like family members and people and stuff like that in our lives that weren't able to, you know, be with us, either like, you know, that they have passed on, or also to, you know, just people that we weren't able to share Thanksgiving with this year. So we left an extra tray, or an extra setting at the table this year, you know, to sort of as a symbolic, like 2020 has not been a kind year sort of thing, for, you know, multiple reasons too. But yeah, so that was pretty much Thanksgiving, guys. Like I said, it was difficult. I was like, I felt like I would have to, I'd sit down, I'd watch like 5 minutes of like the parade, and then I'd be like, oh, gotta get up and go do this thing, you know, and then sit back down.
Did a really good job on her first time. I was so proud of her. Now she knows how it is to be so busy on Thanksgiving that you can't really enjoy the day. But I think the hardest part about Thanksgiving is getting everything all ready, like, and warm and hot all at the same time. But she did a really good job. I'm so proud of her. Hi, I'm her mom.
So I get mom's seal of approval, I guess. So she just came sneaking in here from the other room. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, I was like sitting down for 5 minutes and then realizing like, okay, now I gotta take the stuff out from breakfast. Now I have to clean this thing. And my dad was really good too about helping, making sure that like the dishes and stuff like that pretty much got done in between every intermittent burst of cooking that ended up happening. But yeah, gravy too, we did gravy. That was one of those other things too that I was standing, like, there wasn't a lot because again, so much of the stuff was pre-made that I had to spend so much time, like I have to focus on this one thing for a really long time. Other than the gravy, that was the longest thing that took me the most amount of time, where I had to like watch it. Everything else was like, oh, I pre-made the potatoes, like I can throw those in the oven now, I can throw all this stuff in and stuff like that. But the most difficult part I think would be, like I said, honestly, the gravy. Just like the longest period of time where I had to be doing something. My dad was able to he pre-sliced the cheese, the cucumbers for the sandwiches, like all the other things. I think I was telling you guys in yesterday's vlog I needed to make sure it got done so that some of the other stuff wouldn't take as long. So since everything got done, you know, like I said, sort of ahead of time, it was actually not that much. It was just sort of like jumping up to go and get this thing done, and would take me like maybe 10 or 15 minutes to do that thing. I could sit back down again and then get back up for another 10 or 15 minutes to sit back down. So yeah, but I told you guys too, I was actually kind of a little bit happy that both the football teams I wanted to win won, but I was kind of happy that there wasn't like amazing football game on that I was like, I have to watch the Panthers are playing or the Bears are playing, or you know, something like that, because I would have been just too busy to have been able to watch it. So that was actually, I think, sort of a blessing in disguise. Even the Steelers game wasn't on, you know, like late in the afternoon too, so that kind of stunk. But then Sunday we have the Bears and the Steelers. I believe are also going to still be on prime time, you know, and all that stuff. So yeah guys, like I said, I guess today's vlog is actually going to be kind of short because I don't have much else to share other than, you know, what happened during Thanksgiving today. But it was just sort of, again, spending time with family, and you know, like I said, we watched both the football games and we watched the parade earlier, and other than that, we really didn't like watch anything. I think we mainly talked and chatted for a lot of today too, which was kind of, you know, fun. Like we weren't just super, you know, overly distracted by a whole ton of other stuff. So anyways guys, I will see you though all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.